Butterflies fill my spine, I feel myself getting hot again. Nerves rushing through my brain, yeah, they can't hear fire from the trees. You're standing by his side, red drops burning down your face. Getting real close now, baby. Holy fuck, I feel it with you. I lose self-control. Now I found that you're not one to hear me now. You got me on my knees begging for your lady. And like a fool to stand around and let you blame me. And I'm riding in the sky to the heavens like an
Hi, my name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a very special guest, a guy that's asked a whole bunch of questions on other episodes. Professional wrestler, Draven Filth.
How's it going, man?
Man, good. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here, man. I feel like it's a
I'm
long
very-
time coming, man.
Right.
You know, I've seen so many of your shows. You had so many of my friends here,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yep.
I'm excited, man. I'm
Thanks.
really
Me
excited.
too. Me too. But before we get started, real quick, I just want to talk about that the New England Patriots are back in the Super Bowl already. Who would have really thought it would have been this quick?
It's crazy. Like, it's been, what, 8 years since
Yeah.
they've been in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl? 8 years since Brady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't follow it weekly, but I follow it enough, you know?
Right.
I know the stuff that's important, stuff that makes me money, like the Super Bowl.
Yes, yes. Well, Denver scored with like 4 minutes and 51 seconds into the game. Then they never scored again.
Oh, wow.
We won 10-7. Drake May ran for 65 yards in like a 3 or 4 yard touchdown run. We got a field goal. One big moment was with 4 minutes and 42 seconds left in the game. Denver went for a field goal, and a guy that literally was just put on the squad from the practice squad
Yeah.
Saturday, the night before, and he blocked the punt, that field goal.
Isn't it great how like football's just kind of like wrestling in that
Yeah.
sense? Like, dude, you had the heels, like they came out, they cut off early, you know, they came on strong, then they just kind of never came back.
Yeah,
You know, and you got
100%.
great moments like what you were just talking about, you know, whole new kicker, and here he is, freaking sitting, not saving, but helping the team win and all. It's crazy.
Yeah, without
Great.
him, they make the field goal, goes, then it's tied. Who knows what happens?
Exactly. That guy probably never would have thought that was going to be his life Friday before that game, you know?
Absolutely. But with 2 minutes and 11 seconds in the game, Denver had the ball. They threw it. Christian Gonzalez intercepted it. Denver had one timeout left. So all the Patriots had to do was get a first down because they're going to use their timeout immediately.
Right.
We got the first down, kneeled for a couple plays, game's over. Patriots back in the Super Bowl against the Seattle
Well,
Seahawks.
the best part of a freaking lousy weekend with all the snow and that, right? You know, at least you had something nice, right?
I work at a school, man. It was brutal.
I have 100 feet of driveway to shovel, and I shoveled it in about 6 hours, but I couldn't move for 2 days. You know,
Yeah.
I've fallen
No,
off
I
ladders,
hear
gone
ya.
through tables, but nothing's like shoveling snow.
Your legs, it's like, you know,
Oh,
use
yeah.
your arms, but it's a lot of your legs
Oh, that's
get
everything.
sore.
My abs hurt. I thought I went to the gym. It was
Right,
weird.
right.
It was nuts. I farted and I cried a little. It was
Yeah,
awful.
Yeah, we were like, wait a minute, I do have some
Yeah,
abs. They're
yeah.
sore. All right, so listen, let's get right into it, Draven.
Oh, the fun stuff.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Haverhill, and when I was about 5 years old, I moved to Lawrence, and I've been there ever since. You know, I'm the white kid in the Spanish neighborhood, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's great. Like,
My
I love that little
girlfriend's from
city.
Lawrence.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Where in Lawrence?
Yeah. Over by, like, downtown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
So I can see the hospital from my house.
Oh, okay,
I can see
yeah,
all
yeah.
of it from my house. I kind of like to look at it like I look down on Lawrence. Like I sit in I got like the second floor of my house, and I can just see the city from there. I'm like, yeah, it's mine.
Right. I grew up in Lowell, so the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah, dude.
Same thing.
Interchangeable.
Lawrence, Lowell, and Lynn. all the same.
You know, the crazy thing is, too, you go to Lawrence and Lowell, like, you take that downtown or whatever, and you could put someone from Lowell and Lawrence, and it'd be like you're home.
100%.
It's the weirdest thing.
Listen, my girlfriend is from Lawrence, I'm from Lowell, and I've never gotten along with a woman as much. No, honestly, so I know I'm going to be with her forever. It's incredible. But it is because she's from Lawrence and I'm from Lowell. We're connected that way.
It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
That type of stuff, like, you don't think you'll connect with people over that kind of stuff, but then you see these guys, like, you know, punks from Chicago, and he's like Mr. Chicago, and then you think about it and you're like, I'm kind of Mr. Lawrence, and you're kind of Mr. Lowell. It is kind of that way.
I definitely think I'm one of Mr. Lowell's, for sure. Even though I haven't lived there in like 40 years, 32 years. But I've always got to, like, what they say, that saying is, you can take Lowell out of the man, but you can't take the man out of Lowell.
Can't take the smell either. No.
Hey,
I got it, man. I can smell Lawrence when I go.
Right.
All
right, let's get back to it. When did you first see pro wrestling?
Oh my God. I have slight memories of like 91, 92 watching
And how old were you at that
Oh God, I was a baby. Like, I remember having nightmares of like The Undertaker, but thinking Paul Bearer was a scary. I was more I was more afraid of Bearer than The Undertaker, but I have nightmares of like them kidnapping me as a baby and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's wild.
And then, like, I have memories of, like, you know, the Attitude Era a little bit. My dad would flip between WWF and WCW.
Everybody did.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody did.
So I got to see a little bit of DX Army. He watched a lot more of WCW, though. So, like, I have memories of, like, Hack versus Bam Bam Bigelow versus, like, David Flair or whatever it was. I got the weirdest things.
And that was weird. I mean, David Flair becoming a pro wrestler and not being that great, but good enough to be on TV.
Yeah. What was weird, though, for me was, like, when I got older, I'd go back and I'd look at, like, what built up to these little memories I have, and I'd be like, what is all? Like, how? Like, okay.
Yeah. Because it was weird. I mean, he had that thing with Crowbar.
Yeah.
And Stacy Keibler. And who was the other girl that got involved with them?
Wasn't it? Well, I think it was Stacy Keibler the whole time, but she was under a different name. She was Miss Hancock at first, and then she was Stacy Keibler.
Yeah.
And then I think she got pregnant with his baby.
Right.
And was it just pitched, or did it actually turn out that, like, Ric Flair had something to do with it?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure, that Ric Flair was fooling around with his son's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's wrestling. That's 90s wrestling.
But I mean, that probably could be real life. I mean, you know, especially nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Rick likes the sauce more than ever.
I think it's his confidence. I think, in all honesty, when I think to that stuff, I we talked about it, and it's like, I always get it back. But in every documentary for like the last 20 years, it's always like, I had it until this very point. Now, magically, I have it. I don't think he ever truly got it back.
Right. And if you know, like, if you followed Ric Flair through his whole career, he's always felt like down on himself instead of, you would think a guy like him would have the confidence all the time, but he didn't.
He wants to prove to himself that he's Ric Flair, and he needs to prove it every day. I feel like, and again, if you watch him enough, that's always been the vibe of him.
Right. And it's a shame because, no word of a lie, if he would have retired when Shawn and him had that match, I swear to God, he would be in my top 3 pro wrestlers of all time. He hung around too long, so all I see is the crap.
Right.
That's all I see.
Yeah, I mean, he did, to be fair to him, he did a couple of okay things in TNA, like the Jay Lethal thing. He had a match with Foley that was like the best match in that company that year. That's not fair, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
No, you're definitely right. Like everything from that match on, it was kind of a downward.
Yeah, and it's sad because it didn't have to be that way.
Did you watch his last match?
No, but I heard enough about it that, like, he literally was, like, gassed.
I had to watch it after the fact because I didn't want to watch it not knowing if he was going to make it through it.
Right.
So I had to wait until, like, after it aired, and then, I found it afterwards, and I was like, wow.
And how was it bad? Huh?
Oh, God, it was heartbreaking. Like, it was cool for the first, 10 minutes because he did all right, but then it turned into a 25-minute match, and you can just see, like, he faked a heart attack at one point.
Yeah, that match should have been 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
At tops.
Oh, 100%.
And he could have went out looking like the old Nature Boy, because all he would have really had to do was 4 minutes worth of work. And I think Ric Flair could easily do 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, did chop, woo. Maybe the other guy flops in a figure 4. What do you need?
The strut.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
They didn't want to see it.
Now, That was where he teamed with Andrade, right?
Yep.
And he took on Jay Lethal and who?
Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett.
Now, I will say...
a real pro, man.
I
Jeff
will
Jarrett.
say, I think that match, at the very least, kind of gave Jeff Jarrett a small resurgence.
Right.
Because
right.
If you, that entrance alone, it was the most like Southern 80s like heel entrance I've seen.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It was perfect. It was the best part of the match.
Yeah. See, I was never a huge Jeff Jarrett fan, even though I was a fan of Memphis, because I always looked at him as, daddy, son, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But over time, his body of work is incredible. No one can deny that Jeff Jarrett's one of the all-time greats.
He's definitely one of those guys that you appreciate more once you start following the behind the scenes and once you get into it. As a fan, you just kind of go, Jeff Jarrett. But then you realize, oh man, this guy throws a better punch than like anybody.
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy's just got the like classic heel psychology. That's all it is.
Right.
He wants you to dislike him, you know?
Yeah. I go to the Gathering in North Carolina every year, a wrestling convention.
I want to go one time.
And I met Jerry Jarrett there one year.
Yeah.
He passed away, like by the time the next Gathering started, he had passed away. And I told him that Memphis wrestling is my favorite. I grew up in New England. I told him in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to me, that's the greatest compliment anyone could give me, that you loved my product. And I told him I did. It was the best.
Well, yeah, because you're literally telling an artist that you enjoyed what he put together.
Right.
And the bookers, they were, the people say the wrestlers are the artists, and they are, but the bookers are, they're the ones writing the stories, and they're the ones that are coming up with all this stuff,
Yeah.
So it's just as much their creativity as it is ours.
Right. And it used to go back in Memphis. Jarrett would have the book for 6 months, and then Lawler would have it.
Right.
Back and forth.
Right.
It was fucking smart, man.
Oh, yeah. It saves them from burnout. It keeps everything fresh. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Were any of your friends or family into wrestling too?
I was lucky enough to have a small group of friends that, between liking wrestling and liking me, they kind of get into it. Like, I think some of them honestly did it for me.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, dude, we had our own, we had the backyard stuff.
Oh, we all did.
We'd get there'd be 6 of us, and we'd get 10, 11, 12 people just watching us and stuff. So
cool.
It was kind of cool. So yeah, I got my fix very early on into having friends that would do this with me and, try to make something fun out of it,
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
When did you go to your first wrestling show? And was it like a WWE show, or was it an indie?
No, actually, it was 2007. It was like a SmackDown in 2007.
Oh, okay.
My aunt gave me tickets for my birthday, and
Nice.
it was cool because it was floor seats, and it was right after Taker won the belt.
Oh, okay.
He won the belt from Batista, I think it was, and he actually defended it against Batista in the dark match. It was great. I think I watched Benoit wrestle. I watched, I know Benoit may not be the first name a lot of people.
No, but he was an incredible professional wrestler. It was way before he did that bad thing.
Oh, yeah, dude. I got not an 8x10, but a little Polaroid of him doing the headbutt in the air and all that. It's
really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw Paul London and Brian Kendrick against some... It was like a Johnny Rock, not Johnny Rock, 60s, whatever. They were Deuce and Domino.
Deuce and Domino. Yeah, I remember them.
I remember that. And
I love London and Kendrick. Paul London actually is a really nice guy. I met him through catering with Ring of Honor. He's a super guy.
He's getting a little resurgence right now too, because he just did Chris Van Vliet.
Yes, and he does a lot of Rene Dupree's shows too. Not all of them, but he's on a lot of them as a co-host or whatever.
Yeah, like Cafe Day Rene or something, right?
Yeah. Paul London is a super guy. All right, who trained you? I understand.
No.
Okay.
I've actually got answers for this.
Beautiful,
I thought about this. I've seen the WAW guys in this hot seat. I know.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of training in 2010 with some people in Haverhill. Okay. I was very young. I was 18 years old, and it was great. It was my buddy Chris. He found these guys, and they were called CWA Wrestling. I don't think they're associated with Chad CWA, but ironically, the logo's kind of the same. And yeah, I did about a month with them, and then I think I was a little bit too young to really try to do it because, the natural 29, 2010, it was still a very they're going to mess with the new guys.
Yep.
And I was a sensitive kid, so I didn't understand why it was happening. I just saw it happening. Oh, these guys are being nasty,
Right.
But I also...
And who wants to be around people like that, honestly?
To be fair to them, and that's kind of why I'm not using names because, at this point it was 20 years. Cool. Not only was it 20 years ago, but... it might have been me. You know, I'm
Oh,
old
I
enough
hear you.
now to know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I come off some, especially back then, a big, tall, shy guy, that comes off as standoffish to some people,
Right.
And I'm very, I'm a little autistic, so like I'm very straightforward with things, and sometimes that, like, it's not even straightforward, it's too blunt without taking the time to think, and not realizing why you shouldn't ask this question right away, or why you shouldn't question their,
Yep.
Young and stupid is the best way to describe it. But I also got mono, and like that hit me really badly because I didn't know I had it for like 2 weeks prior to like anything. It was one of those deals where like my platelets got so bad that like I would tap this thing, right, and I'd have a bruise on my hand.
Oh, yeah, I had mono when I was a kid.
Put me in the hospital for like a week.
Really?
Oh yeah, 4 days.
Right.
Hey man,
Still,
listen, someone's gonna watch this from 10 years ago, 20, and be like, no, you were only there from this day to this day. And I'm like, you little.
Yeah.
Trying very hard not to swear either. If you hear me start and stop myself.
I appreciate that, but they will edit it out.
Oh, don't say that. So I did freight training Calum's podcast.
Yeah.
And they said that to me. They were like, we'll edit it out. And I took that as, well, I have free reign to say whatever I want.
Yeah.
I think I counted the F-bomb maybe 25 times in the 50 minutes we talked, and he was like, I know what we said, but this also goes on like local access television. You gave us like a night of work just on you.
Right.
So I'm trying.
The worst thing he ever said, and I'll tell you off here, was by Alec Price. And I said a guy's name, and he said that, blop, blop, blop. Like, you have to hear it. Believe me, it was unbelievable.
Oh, I look forward. Hopefully I don't get like that with any of these names.
Right. Well, matter of fact, that's a good point, right? Good stop point right now to say congratulations to Jordan Oliver and Alec Price.
That's right. They got signed to AEW?
Yeah, I was there, right, with my buddy Dave Fournier. And when the match was going on, I said to Dave, wouldn't it be so cool if, MJF went back to Tony and said, hey, you got to sign this guy. And then he did just that when the match was over without even asking Tony Khan. It was awesome.
That's really great for them too, and that's one of the upsides to AEW kind of having a hard time finding talent right now, and WWE kind of doing what they're doing. It's giving guys like a chance that might not have gone to look like 6 months ago, and that's a great thing. Contrary to what people think on paper, that's a great thing.
And they really are a very exciting team. I'm always gonna be biased because I love Alec Price. I mean, he's been on this show 4 times.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Great kid, though. All right. Tell us about your first show you worked.
As a wrestler, or just like that I was behind the curtain?
Why don't you do both?
So the first event I ever got to like be a part of, I was actually security for the place that I trained and all that stuff, and it was Kids Fest in Haverhill. I don't know if you're familiar with that event.
I'm very familiar with Kids Fest.
It was like the first wrestling show.
Wasn't that like APW was a part of that?
This was before it was APW.
Really?
That's what I like.
Okay.
Again, I haven't. It's one of those deals where I looked into these guys when I met them. I knew what I knew, but I never looked into them after that because between getting sick and just life and work and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they actually are part of it with the connection with APW, if there is one. But yeah, so I got to be security for that, and that was that was weird because there was actually a guy that like he kept telling me, he's like, I'm gonna hit the ring, and I'm like, please don't hit the ring. Like,
I don't want to have to kill
I don't even really know what I'm doing right now. I've never run security before. This guy, like in my mind, these guys are like, oh, stay away from the camera, stay away from this. But then again, I take things very literally. So then when the fans on the other side of the ring were smacking one of the heels, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you told me to stay away from the camera.
Right.
Not thinking, Yeah.
The guy's being attacked, he said, don't be on camera.
So I'm like, please don't. I don't even know what I'm going to do about this. If you do, I might just look at you and go, hey, don't do that.
All right. So let's get right into the fan questions. Because our good friend, the wrestling goat, Grayson Flax, got like 5 right off the bat or something
let's answer one of them.
Right? Favorite cities you've worked in New England?
Newton, Massachusetts, because that's Delilah's.
I was just going to say that's Delilah's.
I love that audience. It's usually like a non-profit thing, so it's not a casual wrestling audience, but they're such a good audience in terms of just giving us the chance to perform for them. They're not cynical. I like it.
They get involved.
I like casual audiences. You're going to figure this out about me pretty quickly. The other thing that I've been doing for the last couple of years, I've been going to Warren, New Hampshire, which is very small. It's like maybe 10, 15,000 people. And again, that's another thing I'm going to get fact checked on. Reggie, you'll get over it.
Reggie? Love Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie's all right. But no, they're great too because like they don't get like a lot of big like wrestling is a big thing for them and it's part of like their whole like weekend event thing and that audience is wonderful too because it's all like kids and families and stuff and you can like poke someone in the eye and they think it's the biggest thing in the world. Like I love audiences like that. So yeah, Warren, New Hampshire, and Newton are probably my two favorites right now.
Okay, great. Favorite promotions in New England that you've worked?
I love OCW right now. I love the cult vibe, and I say that in like the nicest way possible. But if you've gone there, it's like a small building that only seats like 100 people, but everyone's so knitted together and everything's so like professional and like the lighting's really nice and like it's just a cool place to work and the vibe is just fun. Like you can be. It's more casual, like the other events. So you can do more gimmicky stuff. You can do more wrestling stuff. Like you can do more basic, like big, psychology stuff. You don't have to overthink your matches. I'm not wrestling for them right now, but I love Proving Ground. It's perfect. 20 minutes away from my house. They run like once every like month and a half. They got the perfect combination of like gimmicks and like good wrestling.
Listen, when I first started this show, Proving Ground honestly was just starting up. And honestly and truthfully, they're one of the best companies in New England right now. They really are.
And I have a personal appreciation for the owner of Proving Ground because they were one of the first. He was one of the first people in my time, at least, to give the WAW people a chance.
Yes, very true.
Like he
Todd Graham guys.
Todd Graham, Derek Simonetti. They've got He came to one of the trainings that we used to do because what we would do every like 2 months, it was like a seminar / training day for us, whether it was like our best guys that had like been all over the place, they'd teach us stuff or we'd have people come in. We had Demon Ortiz, we had Mike Hollow, I think came by for a couple of them. I did like a month of stuff with him. But Todd was one of the first ones to come in and be like, okay, so you guys aren't just a bunch of people that think you're better than everyone. Some of you are. And some of them had that awful attitude, but there was also a lot of people.
That's why they're not around. Those ones.
Exactly. That's why people like myself, like Flax, Freight Train, Delilah, Conway, Lust, they're doing stuff, whereas other guys, that I'm not even going to bother naming.
Right. And Lust is one of the hottest wrestlers in New England the past 3 years.
And he's done both. He's been a baby. He's been a heel.
Oh, yeah.
He's phenomenal.
Tag team specialist.
Phenomenal.
I mean, he's incredible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now from OCW, PG, I like watching NRG.
Yep.
They're cool. That's Davies, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, Davey Cat.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm awful with remembering what people kayfabe and don't want in terms of that kind of stuff. So please don't hit me if I just said something I'm not supposed to say.
Who is NQW?
Never Quit Wrestling. Okay. They're out of. So I enjoy NQW wrestling because they kind of remind me of WAW in the sense that when they first started out, there were some people there that probably shouldn't have been there. Right.
No, I hear
those people have started to make themselves disappear. And it's. The people that are still there, they're the people that want to be there, and they do what they can to get better, and they actually care, They're the guys that at noontime when a ring comes in, they're also here helping set up. They're the ones that they don't leave until the show ends, I like stuff like that. I'd rather work in locker rooms with the passionate people than the ones that everyone thinks are a star. Not that I see a lot of that stuff, but, there's such a difference in the vibe and just the feeling of hey, we're doing this together as opposed to, hey, we're just here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Absolutely. That's a great way to answer that. I know you said this ended badly, but Supernova, I got to ask
no, of course
the drama question. I do.
No, I knew it was coming, and it's one of those. I'm going to be careful.
Yeah, because of course. Please be careful. Because allegedly, you can always say that.
Not even that, because the thing about me
back
is,
it up.
I am a lot of things. I am capable of a lot of things, but I'll never lie to you. And I can prove 90% of what comes out of my mouth. But this isn't going to be a bury, maybe one guy.
All right.
But I'm not going to bury the promotion because there are good people that I know that wrestle there. I have a lot of friends that still wrestle there, and I believe there are people that want to do better with the promotion. However, owner, I don't know what he's doing in the company, the booker at the time, Adam Santos, and
I've never heard of.
We've had our issues. There was an issue with him doing not bad things, like terrible cancelable things, but just treatment of people.
Right. Okay.
You bring a female wrestler to New England, you don't leave her at an airport. You don't screw with her pay.
Right.
You don't.
Of course.
You don't leave her in a. I'll say allegedly to this because it's never. You don't bring her to your house because a bunch of wrestlers are staying there and tell her she can't shower in the morning. You know, when she loses her ID or leaves her ID at your house, you don't tell her, oh, well, just fly home tomorrow.
Right.
You know, you help these people.
Yeah, of course.
And then, you know, when
you got to be a compassionate person to people in need,
And then-
especially if they're working for you.
And then when this girl hurts herself,
Yeah.
and we're driving her to get said wallet and to bring her on the plane to go home, you don't call her 10 minutes before I'm about to get to your house, and you don't tell her, hey, I think you could get a blood clot and die. You should stay at my house until we can get you to the hospital. You let the guy that's already got her in the car take care of it, and you let him take her to the airport, take her home, let her mother, who was a doctor's nurse, whatever it was, let her listen to her mother, not you.
Wow. Wow, yeah, that's a dirtbag.
That's all I'll say is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
no,
that.
hey, you know
that's
what?
enough of going down that.
And I'm glad you asked because you know, but I will take the opportunity actually right now to speak. You reminded me of something by asking me. There was a guy that I got very mad at that situation. I'll halfway apologize to him. I'm only saying halfway
that's all
because
right.
he's gone on some podcasts and he said some stuff.
Okay.
Yusef 13, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around in a long time.
And again, I'm saying halfway because he said some stuff that I didn't appreciate. You know,
Right,
he made some
right.
accusations about me. You know, I had some injuries that said some stuff, but at the same time, I ripped him apart when she got
you?
hurt. Yeah, and he didn't deserve all of that. You know, he didn't deserve me looking like, basically told me he had no business being a part. You know, I said some shit to him, stuff.
Right.
You
No,
know,
it's okay. Yeah.
it was an accident. Wasn't his fault. You know, could have happened to anyone, you know, so that's what I mean when I say I'll accept that I was wrong in terms of how I handled that with him.
Right. And you know something? A real man can apologize. And that's no, but it's true. Hey, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. All right. So, Flax, we're going to skip over a couple because we got a lot of questions asked.
Also, to be fair, I'm pretty sure there are a couple of people that ask similar questions anyway,
Yes.
so it's a nice way to give them the chance to ask the
Yes.
question, not just regurgitate four of yours, Flax.
Yes. You're on Des Marrero?
Des? Yep.
Our
He
favorite
wrestles for
match you've
OCW.
wrestled in. We're going to get back to yours, Grace. Don't worry about
I've
it.
got a couple, but the one that sticks out, I did a benefit show for a boy that he was
Passed
bullied. He got bullied as a kid. He got bullied really badly, and you know he committed suicide.
Right,
So
right.
they did
That's
a show
sad.
in upstate Vermont. I don't remember the city name, but it was a very nice. If I was to say number, you know, back to the places I love wrestling,
Right.
that'd be number 3 because it was like 400 people, and
Nice.
all of these people got together in support of, you know, child suicide awareness for this boy. His name was Noah. I don't remember his last name off the top of my head because I'm awful in too many chair shots. But, you know,
Right.
And I got to have a match with one of my best friends, Caleb Manson. And
Great
it was
guy.
one of those matches that it was so simple, but it got over so well to the point where like everybody, with the exception of a couple of people, you know, who had their own match that they thought was phenomenal and it was good.
Right.
But I had so many people just coming up to me praising that match and just being like, I never thought you'd be capable of doing this type of, you know.
Nice.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like it essentially, not necessarily proving people wrong, but proving myself.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That was number one. Number 2, it happened last year. It was myself and Joey Warner.
No, Joey's a
Joey,
great worker. He's been here.
Joey's he's in the middle of taking a tiny bit of time off,
Yes,
but I
he is.
really hope that time off he comes back sooner than later because he was on to something, you know, and especially that stuff happening with him and Dick Lane and
Yeah.
Void and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You got that big guy that turned on him.
Yep.
You got Dick Lane who he was trying to I think he was trying to help him and get him into the Void, and he took the Void away from him, you know,
Right.
Joey's a hell of a talent. you
Yeah,
know?
no doubt he is.
I had a great match with him in Newton. I love that match too because that was another match that I got respect from people because of
Right.
how good it was, and just he's one of my best friends, and I got to say that I gave him one of his best matches. You know?
Yeah, and he's very, very talented. And he had been on a rise.
Oh yeah.
When all of a sudden he decided to take a step back. I don't want to say retire because I don't think he said retire.
No, he's not. He definitely didn't
Right.
retire. He had some.
Taking a step back.
He had some changes that were happening.
Right.
And then things might have changed again. Not my place to say.
you know,
but he's one of
I
my buddies,
understand.
and I'm just
Yeah.
saying I think he'll be back sooner than later. I hope so.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
hope Montero comes back one of these days too.
Montero actually at the last Proving Ground show.
Yeah, but did he work?
He had 3 matches.
He did. He wrestled.
He won the PG C6. Wow. I feel
like an idiot. That I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, don't feel like an idiot. There's been so much going on in life. And
He's
all that.
unreal, man.
He's phenomenal. I got to watch him work Shay's boy, not Davey's boy, not Shay's boy, Cash.
Yeah, Shay
I got to watch him wrestle Cash. Cash could
very talented
Money.
kid.
Cash Money.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
his name.
Davey's son.
Davey's son. Yeah.
Oh, he's
I got to watch him
incredible
wrestle
for a
Cash.
young kid.
Yep. I got to Nick Diamond, I think was his one of his opponents. I don't remember the match he had in the finals, but they were 3 phenomenal matches, and I was like, Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
I've watched Montero, but I've never actually, because I got to sit and watch that show.
Right.
I got to watch him for like close and actually get an idea more, because it's so different when you can watch somebody close.
Oh, absolutely. When he was here, right, I couldn't believe it when he said he wrestled for 17 years. I'm like, he's so young still.
So Kids Fest.
Yeah.
2019, the only time I've ever done anything in the ring with him. It was some battle royale thing, and I'd never heard of it. I'd never heard of him.
Right.
But that's on me because I just don't follow him.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And it was one of those things where, like, I heard of him, but I didn't, you know. So some guy gets in the ring, he calls something to me. I don't hear him, so I just punch him in the throat. And I'm like,
That's all.
And I'm like, who'd I just hit? And he's like, that was Mike Montero. And I'm like,
uh-oh.
He's like, the guy is like a big,
yeah.
And I just look at him and I'm like, do me a favor and just dip the bottom rope. And I threw myself over. I've never thrown myself out of a battle royale so fast.
You
I
felt
was
so
just,
bad.
I'm done.
Mike is so freaking talented.
Oh, he is. He's
He really is.
honestly probably one of the top 5 guys in like New England,
no
I'd
doubt.
say. You
I
know?
would not. I would agree.
Yeah, you know, consistency.
There's a lot of good
Not
wrestlers
including
in New
guys that are
England.
like kind of in and out, but I'm talking about guys that you see like they
No
primarily
doubt.
do this, you know. Easily, I'd put him in the top 5.
Yeah, if not 5'10".
Yeah.
Because, like I said, because he has stepped back for a little bit.
He can
and
be,
guys have risen.
He can be your 10, but I'm trying to get him to wrestle me, so he'll be my 5.
Don't get me wrong. You want to say 5? I'd agree too, because it's your 5.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's still in my 5. Seriously. All right, Steven Russo. So far, we've heard everyone's perspective on Leo's show about the Georgia trip. I want to hear yours. Thanks, Steven. I love Steven, man. He's awesome, dude.
I love the Georgia trip because it was the closest to one of the old school wrestling trips that I got to hear about as a kid growing up. I'm not
now,
really.
real quick, who went? You, Freight Train, Steven?
So there were 2 of them. The first one was just myself, Freight Train, Steve, and Caleb.
Okay.
The second
That
one,
first
we,
one.
yeah,
Okay.
the second one we brought another guy along with us, and that wasn't his fault, but it turned out to be an awful idea because there was the little space we had was even less and all that stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes more is not good.
I gotta be honest, I'm not too sure what he means in terms of what my perspective of the trip was.
What did you
because,
think
like,
of it? Like, how much fun did you have?
I must have liked it enough if I'm doing it again this year. You know?
You are? Yeah, you're going back for number 3, huh?
I got a belt to defend up there. I'm actually the OWC Pennsylvania State Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so I got to go defend that belt. Hopefully, whip someone's ass in Savannah, Georgia.
Yep.
You know.
Now, who's that going to be? You, Steven, Freight Train, and Caleb?
Yep,
At least the 4 of you. Probably only 4 of you.
I believe. And if he screws me and like doesn't go now, and I'm advertising someone, I'm gonna kill him. Freaking Flax.
I was just going to say my favorite goat.
Freaking Flax is supposedly going to make his debut in Georgia this year.
Yep. You know what's funny? Even before I met Flax, I used to say to people how I dispel belief at a wrestling show.
Yeah.
So I would always say, if there's a guy in the ring saying he's a goat, he's a goat.
Right.
Because I'm dispelling belief. Then I met Flax, and now I get to say my favorite goat.
And what I love about him, and he's one of those guys that his gimmick, the second that like a bell rings, the second he walks out, he's all gimmick. The second he puts that mask on, there's no, I'm just going to start my match and wrestle like a normal. No, he is the GOAT from the moment you see him to the moment he takes the mask off.
Yeah, and that mask is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
He really does.
I teamed with him a couple of times.
Did
and
you?
I wore that thing once.
No kidding.
I hated it so much that I literally looked at the guy I was wrestling and said, rip this goddamn thing off of me right now. Please rip it off of me.
Right.
Thank you for it.
That's wild.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how the mask guys do it.
Right. All right. back to Flax.
Back to Flax, Jesus.
Yeah. Least favorite promotion in New England you've worked, and if you don't have to say it if you don't want to.
We can already say Supernova. Like, and again, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to go after the people that you know are there that haven't done anything to me. I got issues with one guy from one time. I didn't have a very good experience in RWA either, but that was kind of that was just circumstances. That wasn't anyone's fault. But yeah, those are, I guess, the two.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Wrestlers still on your bucket list? Great question, Flax.
Like I said, I'd love to wrestle Mike Montero because he's a standard. You know,
doubt.
You want to
No
know
doubt.
where you stand in professional wrestling, wrestle Mike Montero.
Yeah.
And that, like, I feel like that is the type of test as a WAW guy
100%.
that has been looked at as a WAW guy. That's a way that I could be like, hey.
So would you say a lot of the WAW guys, because wrestling for Todd, really learned a lot from Montero? They had to have.
Oh, yeah, you know, especially the guys that got to wrestle him, like Dustin, Joey Warner got to wrestle him. Freaking Flax didn't get, I know freaking Flax talks, like, in Proving Ground, they had a lot of back and forth and stuff. You know, I'm not in Proving Ground, so I can't really, like...
Right.
But
you follow it.
Yeah, I follow it, and like I've been around enough, you know. Like I'm 20 minutes away, so there have been times where Todd's been like, "Hey, you want to help me with this ring? Come watch the show," you know.
Right.
I hang around. I see enough of it.
Todd's a great guy. I love Todd.
He is.
Obviously, I do because he's been on the show
really.
like over 10 times. Seriously.
He's the only guy you could have him 10 times and doesn't run out of stuff to talk about.
No, he would never run out of stuff to talk about, but he's a good dude.
He showed off his little video collection last time, and I gotta admit, there's a pettiness inside of me that wanted to be like, well, I got this. I can show you some stuff. You got that X-Men thing? I got it sealed. How you like me?
Then he did like some love-hate thing with Kellen Thomas at the end.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're kind of in a thing too. You know, they're having like, he says good things about the people because he's trying to be diplomatic, but in the end, they don't like each other.
Wow, that's wild.
When you screw somebody as bad as Kellen screwed Todd, you know, it's kind of hard to turn around and be like, yeah, he's a great guy, you know, especially when money is involved, you know, especially when it's contracts, money. And
I hear you. Yeah. He's a talented dude, though, Kellen Thomas. And it was funny, when I asked him to do the show, you know what he said to me?
What did he say?
You run out of people to ask? And I'm like, no.
No, that's why I'm here. No.
I just didn't have like, it's hard to ask some people when you don't have that relationship with them, you know?
I feel that I've wanted to come talk to you forever now, and it wasn't until you made that comment because my brain's going, how do I talk? I've never talked to this guy before. What do I do? Am I gonna? I don't want to be a freaking mark and just be like, I love your show. Please let me be on it. You know?
No, but I mean, I said it right here, and I said about Destro.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Dave. We've been talking for a half hour, and like we're barely even done with any of this. Come talk to this guy.
We're definitely not going to finish the fan questions, but that's all right. We can do this again another time.
That just gives us a reason.
Exactly. Right? All right. So now we're on to Paul Andrews, another good dude. Who's someone you've looked up to from your early times that still affects your opinion and is someone to get information from still? That's a really good question, man.
Yeah. God, looked up to is such a strong word because I don't want to give them the satisfaction, you know. But like, you know,
there's got to be somebody.
No, I know. I'm screwing around. It's just how I like. It's me.
Right.
You know, Todd, Chad. You know, even guys like Flax. You know, the people that they've been helping me from day. You know, the people that have been with me and like kind of believed in me from day one.
Yep.
You know, they've never like really steered me wrong. They've always given me what they thought was the best advice they could. They've always tried to help me. They've never like. You know, Chad uses me on his shows. Todd, I've done stuff with Todd in the past, you know.
Yep.
He helps me get to other places, you know. He shows me, you know, and even Flax, you know. I've had so many matches with Flax. I've gone into so many places just because Flax needs an opponent, you know.
Right, that's cool.
So, yeah, dude, those guys, like, yeah, I appreciate all of them, you know. And then there's even, you know, Frank Bones, you know, these guys like Frank Bones.
Another guy, I love him too, but I mean, he has so much respect from everybody in the business.
He's one of these guys that, like, whether it's his ring or not, he's showing up at the beginning of the show. He's helping out with stuff. He's making sure stuff gets done right. He's not being awful to these young new guys.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many guys that'll mess with like new green people that like, even if they don't know it, by just being like, oh, hey, kid, I'll see you out there,
Yep.
little things like that. You think you're helping them, but in reality, you're giving like a 19-year-old kid like a giant anxiety attack. Frank's the guy that he's going to walk you through everything. He's going to take care of you.
He's definitely going to take care of you. You brought it up, though. Ring. He rents his ring. Smart.
Yeah, bona fide ring rentals. Don't buy your own ring.
Is that what it's called?
Bona fide ring rentals. Yeah,
Yep,
dude. Why buy your
Frank.
own ring when you can get Frank to do it? And he's reasonable. He takes care of people,
Right.
man.
Yeah, no, Frank's a solid dude, and he's from Lowell.
Yeah. And then you, as a promoter, don't have to go home at 2 a.m. setting up your ring.
Right. No, but Frank is a great dude. All right, Todd Graham, why does everyone you wrestle want to bump you like you aren't some kind of monster person?
Look at me.
You are big.
Oh, look at me. Well, I used to be bigger, too.
Yeah.
I was like, there was a
Oh,
time
you were
I was
heavier?
I was like 300 pounds when I was like doing the WAW thing. I was one of those weird guys that I got into shape after WAW shut down.
Yeah.
But no, it's almost like anything. I feel like when you see a big guy, the first thing you want to do is, how am I going to knock this guy down?
Right.
And especially early, like when I'm still trying to get people to like essentially not like me, but want me around.
Yep.
I'm not going to be the difficult guy that starts. That doesn't work for me, brother. I don't have the clout to do that.
I hear you.
What happens if these guys go? Well, then just stop coming here.
Right.
Then
I hear you.
Then this journey ends. I don't get to talk to you.
Right.
And where. Yeah, well, I'm just sitting in my house doing something, probably working the 9 to 5 weekends or something,
Yep. All right. Perfect time for Flax to come back.
Yeah.
And why did you let
this
them?
guy.
Good time to talk about big man psychology.
He is the last person that should be going on about any sort of psychology. Let me tell you something about Flax. And you know what? I looked at your questions one time because I didn't want to be the guy that pre-planned all his answers.
I would too.
But I wanted to make sure people were,
Right.
I wanted to make sure none of the weird ones showed up. But freaking Flax, this guy. So my first match in WAW, we talked about this earlier, was against freaking Flax. You know what this guy did to me?
What?
One of the first things he does to me after, all right, how am I going to get you down, is, hey, I want to do this thing to you where I roll to the outside of the ring, I grab one of your legs, and I throw you forward, and you take a face bump. Now, you've seen Flax, you've seen me.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Flax was also booking at the time. So what do I say to the booker at that point? Do I go, nah, brother, it doesn't work for me?
Say yes.
Do I look at the guy that just handed me this match and goes, hey, can you do this? Do I look at him and go, I can't do this?
Right.
This is also the same guy that every time we wrestle and I'm starting to think it's a rib, in the middle of the ring, he'll just call randomly, hey, atomic drop. And he'll try to give me an atomic drop. And
Was he Bob Backlund?
And it's so in the middle, and I think he does it on purpose, because let's be honest, it's in such a heat of the moment that if I go, no, what are you talking about? Now we're arguing in the middle of this match, and we're not cooperating, and now there's a problem. I know what you're doing. I'm on to you. Do not give me this psychology crap when you think you can lift me. He's suggested power bombing me. He has suggested every crazy thing known to man. Yeah, have fun with this, Flex.
Right.
The best part is I'm probably going to see him when we're done with this, and he has no idea that I kind of just buried him.
Yeah. He won't know till tomorrow.
This
should be out tomorrow.
Perfect.
Friday the latest.
Perfect.
But I would imagine tomorrow.
Perfect.
All right. Logan Winchester, who I actually just booked to do the show today.
Awesome.
What was the championship you've won that felt like you put in all the hard work to get it? Thanks, Logan.
Probably, and it's going to sound so weird saying, because nobody really saw it, because it was during the pandemic and it was when we were running weekly.
But it was still a moment.
So it was my second WAW title win, because my first run was so story driven. Like, we were still in front of the Manchester people and stuff, and we were trying to build other people. So we spent 4 months giving me people and doing just screwy crap. And the matches, they were what they were. They were good until those points, where the moments took away from the matches themselves.
Okay.
But with the second run, it was around the time that WAW was about to kind of close up anyways. Because
so was that 2018?
2022.
Okay,
so right after the pandemic.
Yep.
And I knew my mindset was just different. So instead of trying too hard with stories, I just wanted to go out and have good matches. And I got to have good matches with friends and just pretty much everybody that was there at the time until we closed.
Right.
So for me, it was just it was kind of me getting to have a little bit of fun, because I'm so I'm normally just so okay, let's do right by a show. Let's do right. I'm just here to entertain these kids and stuff. This was the one time I'm okay, I'm having these matches for me.
Right.
You know?
Right. You got to do it for you sometimes. I actually had 2 episodes here that I totally did for myself. I had Mr. Ooh La La and Deranged from Ring of Honor.
I mean, you've been doing this long.
All for me.
You've been doing this long enough where you've earned that anyways.
Thanks,
I
man.
still think you need the
11
shows.
years.
You need shows where they come and they interview you, and it's just everyone coming up and talking like 5 minutes with like 6 or 7 guys where it's just, hey man, this is what I love about this show. This is what's great about you. Thank you. You know, that needs to be episode like 500, 600.
Yeah, 500, I think it's going to end because I'm getting old. But I will say this. I did do 2 episodes where Sonny Goodspeed interviewed me, and that was a lot of fun. But even a better one is I went live with my girlfriend who, like, knows wrestling but doesn't know, like, all about me with wrestling. So she was so excited to ask me the questions. So, and every time it pops up on my memories, I always share it. So be on the lookout. It was incredible. I love that episode.
That sounds awesome. I can't. I'll have to find it, honestly.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
All right. Destro.
Come
on, Dave Delafontaine. What style of wrestling do you enjoy the most? Dave, you got to get your butt here.
I love a good old-fashioned brawl. Like I love a late 90s, like Steve Austin and Dude Love is one of my favorite matches. You know, it's Triple H and Cactus. Just those good like brawls where it's like sloppy. You know, they're not trying to have like 5-star classics. They're not trying to do every move under the sun. It's just 2 guys having a fight. Give me one of those. Give me that every time.
All right. He's got a couple more. What are some goals that you would like crossed off for this year? That's an awesome question, Dave.
And this, God, it's going to sound so corny. I'm right now, the 2 main places that I'm wrestling for are OCW and NQW. I just want to see those places grow, even if it's just a little bit. That's my only goal is to be a part of that. With NQW, actually, last year, I actually got to do a fair amount of business where I wrestled this rapper named Tricked Out in like it was kind of like a gathering of the Juggalos, but much smaller, obviously. There was a couple hundred people there. And we got to do like an actual angle, and we drew people. We drew extra people to this. They told us it was like much bigger than the biggest one they'd ever done and all that stuff. And a lot of it was just from that match. You know, and they're rapping and all that. But, so yeah, like, I just want to see these places grow. You know, I want to be a part of it. Maybe get a belt here and there, Maybe get to carry something again in front of some people. That could be fun,
Well, with OCW, I got to ask you, have you been to Freight Train's barbecue?
I've been to pretty much every
because
one.
Because I know I need to get there.
You do.
I really do.
You're never going to hear the end of it until you go. You know that, right? He's going to keep calling you out on Facebook. He's going to come
an incredible guy, man. I love Freight Train. I was at Train.
He cooks some good food, too. And he goes
all out
for these barbecues. He had like a whole karaoke setup.
That's what he says. He goes, he goes, you don't even have to go home.
I have a video.
He said you can sleep over.
I have a video of about 12 wrestlers drunkenly singing Judas off the top of their lungs.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
of course, of course. Judas, of course. That's a great song, though.
No idea who made the video, but hey.
But no, honestly, though, isn't that like, it's unbelievable. Like Jericho, I mean, come on, he's a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
But that song is a great rock song,
It's a great song, and I think it started a lot of this, like, singing along to all the entrances and stuff. I'm not going to say it never happened before, but I think it had a lot to do with it.
It definitely had a lot to do with it, because even at home, I was singing along.
Oh, yeah.
I really was. And that's incredible, though, because like I said, that was a big hit for him, man.
It was a hit before AEW, too, and all that.
Yes, it was.
Because I remember, like, 2019 or whatever, or 2018, like, I was supposed to go see them live, and a big part of that was because I liked that song.
Yeah, dude, that's a great song, though. It really is. All right, last one from Destro. P.S. From my view, you're always over. So that's not even a question. Dave, you're awesome. Philip Kelly, what is your favorite traditional match and hardcore match that you've had? So maybe you can give us...
God, I hate.
I know you kind of said some.
I hate this question because one of my favorites. I'll give just a different favorite match, but it's from Nova.
Right.
I don't want to say anything nice about Nova, so screw you, Phil. But I had a match with Frank Bones that I think is probably the best. Like their big belt, it's the best title match that they had.
Right.
Period that I've seen from them, and I love the match. I think that we totally went against what they wanted. I put Frank over clean, but it was just one of those things that like from the moment that I came out, I said like one thing, and I had every single person booing me. Frank was over before his music hit. Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff. And then we just had a badass match where like everything that we wanted to do got over with the audience. They cheered with theirs.
Right.
It was perfect.
Doesn't surprise me, though,
Then
that you
you
had a
said
great
ruined it by
match with
coming out.
Frank Bones. No, but honestly, doesn't surprise me. Because over the last couple of years, like Stephen Lust, he's really risen higher than he had ever been.
And
that's no knock on you, Frank. Honestly, man, you've been killing it.
Oh yeah, dude. I got so many nice things that I could say about Frank Bones. I ain't got nearly enough time to do that. The hour that we had wouldn't have been enough time to talk about Frank Bones.
And he's smart. He's a ring renter.
Oh yeah,
he's freaking genius. All right, so let me go one more with Philip Kelly. Nick Rage insisted that I submit his question based on what I've seen during your career. Nope, I ain't asking it.
No, I think I'm a dirty guy.
Yeah,
he's screwing with me.
Yeah.
So I got to. I'll answer
All
it.
right,
Just
all right.
kind
I
of
won't say
I'll put it to you like
I
this.
won't say the insults.
How long have I been a dirty SOB? That's essentially the question.
Pretty
I'll
much.
put it to you like this. I was supposed to be born April 12th at like 7 p.m. I came out April 13th, 8:35 in the morning. Ask my mother how big of a piece of crap I am.
Yeah, you definitely was a rough.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because the mother of my oldest kids, right?
Yeah.
My daughter Elizabeth was born in under like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, no.
And my poor son was like 25, 26 hours.
According to my dad, not only did I not want to come out, but when I started to come out, I got stuck.
Right,
and they had to take what was the equivalent of like you got the ears of corn or whatever.
Yeah. No.
They had to take that and pull me out that way. I had 2 like indentations on my head for like the first week that I was like on this earth.
And I don't want to sound like a lie, but like what I mean is like when we got to the hospital,
Right.
she gave birth like immediately. It wasn't like 3 minutes from her walk.
Story, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. And everybody said too, right? Oh, your second one's quicker, and we were all like, yeah, the second one's gonna be. No, my son. And he looked. And the sad thing is, he looks just like me. So I know she loves him, but she probably don't like looking at him that much. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
all
amazing.
Right.
Love it.
Come on, Buck,
Buck,
who always has a million forks on him.
He actually managed me in the match with Caleb that I told
Did
you
he
about.
really?
Oh yeah, did he stab him right in the head with a fork? It was great.
Buck's awesome, man. I didn't meet him till he was here.
Yeah.
He's freaking awesome. Any tips on removing the stench of stale soda and roadkill after wrestling a juggalo?
Listen, I've tried everything. I've tried gasoline. I've tried lighting myself on fire. I've tried, that's about it. Buck, if you got ideas, let me know. I figured if the gasoline didn't work, the fire would. And here, it's still kind of there. I think I still smell Faygo. That actually could be Todd's merchandise. But that's okay.
What juggalo did you wrestle?
God, if I know.
You don't remember? Okay.
There's been a
that's
few
cool.
of them.
All right.
I think the rapper I wrestled, Trick, that was actually a juggalo too.
Oh, yeah?
So, I've been wrestling them all my life.
Listen, man, I swear to God, those guys have the hustle on them, right? Is nobody hustles more. They've made millions of dollars without one song being played on the radio. Not one.
In all fairness, to be honest, I've never actually run into a juggalo that I didn't
like.
Yeah, they were cool for the most part. Actually,
Right.
not true. Actually, Andy Dawes was kind of a pain in the ass.
All right. All right, cool. So listen, we're going to get in the name game. I got some names. I'm going to try to skip over people we've already talked to.
Right.
All right. Dick Lane.
Dick Lane. I actually got to wrestle Dick Lane in 2016. I appreciate the hell out of Dick Lane because he's one of those people that he gave me my confidence early on. He was an outsider. He came to one of our rumbles, like at WAW, and I had only been in wrestling for like 5 months at that point. We did a little thing with the forced choke slam, and the next thing I know, I'm getting messages from the people in charge going, hey, Dick wants to come back and wrestle you. And I'm like, he wants to wrestle me? Why would he want to, who am I? I'm a guy, I bought, a cheap Walmart black shirt and, I had nothing. I had some face paint.
He saw something in you.
Yeah,
he definitely did.
And we had a match in Newton, and it was a match that, he had another booking, so, we couldn't even talk about it. It was, mostly, on the fly and all that stuff.
Wow.
And
that's always tough.
He liked it enough that he came back to Manchester and had a second match with me and actually put me over in Manchester.
Nice.
And for years after that, he would tell people, he was like, I like WAW and I like wrestling him. And I never forgot that type of stuff. That's why even though I'm not very happy with what Dick did to my buddy Joey, I hope he succeeds.
I will say this, the first time I heard about him.
Have you met him?
Yeah, he's been on the show a couple
I
times.
thought so.
Yeah.
Some chair shots.
Yeah,
And
but no, honestly though, when I first heard about him, I was kind of negative about the powers moves.
Most people are until they...
But then I saw him do it before he came on. And then I met him, and I was amazed that he sounds like that in real life.
Yeah. So he's like our Randy Savage in terms of like instead of
Am I right?
he's
Isn't
like
that
Ian
funny
Dick
though?
Lane. Yeah.
Like when I don't know, like I only seen him talk like as a worker, and then when he was here, but I looked, I said, "You really talk
Yeah,
like
you know,
that?"
crap, that's how you talk.
But he is a great guy. And he is a great worker. He really is. Another guy that's been doing great things.
Oh yeah, dude, he did a promo in Proving Ground recently with the Void with Lazarus and all that stuff.
Right. That Lazarus guy's a little mysterious.
He chokeslammed me.
Whoa!
I've been feuding with the Void on and off in Newton.
Right.
Like I teamed with Johnny Psycho against the two of them, and actually I tried to grab a chair, and next thing I know I'm hearing a bunch of noises, and I'm like, what are these? They're all for me. I look behind me, and there's this giant man, grabs me by the throat, and just drills me.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't like it either. All right, how about Tom Billington?
Tom Billington.
Who I'd love to have here.
I think he is secretly, judging by what I have seen from the back, like just hanging around, I think he is secretly like the heart and soul of the Proving Ground. There is a lot that he does that I don't think people realize, you know.
Right.
He puts a lot of work in just making people, you know. I'm not going to go too into it just because I don't want to, but
he's a talented dude,
I
man.
think the world of Tom.
You know, I really do. I think he's really good. How about Janet Thomas?
I think he's the best heel in New England.
Dude, he is incredible. His tag team right now, he's tag team with Anthony Green.
Is he?
Managed by Sydney.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, they actually had a match at Limitless when Alec Price and Jordan Oliver got signed against Eddie Kingston and Ortiz.
Right.
That was a good match.
I got to watch him wrestle in Fenway Park like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like a Montero situation. I got to be like right up front, and I got to really watch him. Like, this guy is such a ring general.
Unbelievable.
You could tell from just the work that he was doing, the other guy was doing, just the way he was, like, you could just feel it. Like, yeah, he's great. Again, best heel in New England.
That gimmick he's doing right now, world class, Janet Thomas.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And like I said, too, working with Sydney and tag teaming with AG. Money.
He's one of those guys that, like, I hope to see him go somewhere, but at the same time, I selfishly don't want to see someone like him leave New England because he's so good for New England.
Yeah. And I mean, and AG was there, and I still honestly don't understand why they let him go, because he was on 205 Live every week after he gets signed. He was on NXT a couple times right away after he gets signed. I don't get it. Why they released him.
Did he get screwed by the pandemic a little bit? Was he one of those guys that, like, he got signed and then, like, they did all this cost cutting?
I don't know. I wish I had the answer for that.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember.
But I don't think he's done with the WWE.
Right.
I really think he'll be back because the cream always rises to the top.
Oh yeah,
man.
look at like Mello. Look at Mello, and he was there for a while, and people started to have their doubts, and they're like, "Oh, he was like a number one pick. Why?" Blah blah blah. And now look at him; he's got the IC belt, doesn't he? Like,
is it the IC or you? I think it's the United. It's the United States.
Maybe.
Yeah, I do. I think it's the United States. But he's an incredible guy. I had him on episode 126.
Oh wow!
And my old producer Dick, rest in peace. He opened up on a Sunday for me to do it because I kept asking him to do it. And he's like, Leo, I don't have the time. I said, if I can get my producer to open on a Sunday, he goes, absolutely. So I had him and Trigger.
That's awesome.
On at the same time, man. It was really cool. Wow. All right. How about we've talked about Train a little, and you mentioned Caleb, but how about Caleb Manson, a guy that I like a lot?
He's one of my best friends in wrestling. We have fought all over New England. We fought in Georgia. He pile drove me on the floor in Georgia.
You guys go all the way down there to beat each other up.
We really do. And you know, hey, man, I can't complain. That crowd is awesome. I made really good money getting piled driven onto the floor by him at that show. But yeah, we've been enemies. We've been friends. We're the good guys.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's going to pop him. Right? He's the only one that's going to get that, and that's okay.
That's good. All right. So last name, because then if you have anything to play
yeah.
Reggie.
That's the last name?
No, there's more names. I'm just saying the time.
Reggie's all right.
Can you say his wrestling name off the top of your head? Because
Morgan Kennedy Kilmernock.
Yes,
MKK. All right. You know what? I will say something.
Name.
I will say one thing about Reggie. I think he's a very underrated promo.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's got a really. I think as a heel, he's got a great gimmick, a good gimmick, great gimmick. And yeah, I like him as a heel.
Yeah. He's a talented kid.
Oh, he is.
And I think I'm gonna have all three of them on.
Awesome.
Derek, Reggie, and Delilah.
I love Delilah and I love Derek. Delilah gave me so many of my opportunities. I just want to thank her because I haven't had a chance to say that. But yeah.
You were in the ring with Sabu?
Yeah.
You were in the ring with the NWO?
Yeah, dude, I was on the same shows. We main evented the show that the NWO was on, and I have her to thank for that. I got that belt because of her, you know.
You teamed with Robbie E. What was that? Was that for Delilah?
No, that was for OCW, actually.
Okay,
that was actually
cool.
supposed to be Freight Train. His opponent called out, and I actually got to take the place, and I ended up being, dude, so I can say I teamed with Robbie E.
Robbie E's a good dude. I met him years ago. Really down-to-earth, really cool guy.
Robert Stone now, right?
Yes, yeah, Robert Stone. Draven, thanks, brother.
It's a pleasure, man.
We can do this again.
Yeah, man.
Guys, we're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.